Hello, 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 and welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy. Let's move my hot chocolate. And we are on the very last part of number 6 of the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. So, on our very last page. So there's my owl. Oh, that's funny, look, it starts with birds, and then there's an owl. So, for this very last one, the prompt, if you haven't already heard, was for our favourite winter flower. Now, I've chosen to do a poinsettia. I appreciate that a poinsettia is really a plant, not a flower, but I think the way those top leaves turn red, it makes it look like a plant, like a flower. And it's something we tend to have at Christmas time, and I'm in Christmas mode. So what have I done to create this? Well, I took a postcard out of this pack of postcards that I use for my junk journal making, and I had the fern, the holly, and this poinsettia from the Tim Holtz decoupage papers. So I've just inked up my postcard. I've stuck this paper on. I gave it a rough edge so it wasn't too square and ordinary. And I thought, if I was painting in the field, which is what this stitchery book is about representing, I probably would stitch on an old postcard. Why not? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it on to my page. Am I even in shot? Sort of. I'm going to pop it onto my page, and I'm going to stitch the poinsettia in the Sheepies 192 red. I'll do the leaves in this Sheepies 394, and then the little sort of stamens I'm going to do in the 154, the yellow. So, and I've got this lovely piece of plaid or tartan that I got from my lovely friend Denise, who's deserted me. No, not really. She's gone back to work, so I don't see her as regularly as I did. I think it's downright cheek, but there you go. Oh, so we'll pull some strands out there, and I'm going to pop this under there. I want to create a bit of layering like that, and then I'm going to pop my card on there and stitch through. So away we go. Now I think to make my life a little bit easier, I'm just going to put some glue stick down to hold these things in place while I get them stitched down. So a bit of glue stick, and there's my plaid or tartan fabric, and then I'll just run over the postcard like so. Make sure I put it out the right way, Claire. And I'm going to pop that on there like that. Okay. Don't need it to hold proper because obviously I'm going to be stitching through it. So what have we got? We start with the red, I think. So sorry, dive straight in there, didn't I, as I'm often prone to do. How are you? Are you busy crafting, or are you busy with the family and Christmas? Are you glad to be at the end of this project, or are you wishing there was more? I know when I get to this stage of a project, I'm always desperate to get it finished. Sounds really silly, but when I've been doing something for what feels like a long time, 6 months, isn't it? I want it I want it done and finished and gone. It sounds silly to say and move on to the next thing, because I've always got, as I'm sure you have, several projects on the go at once. Now, a little tip for stitching card, if you've not done it before, is poke yourself a hole from the top. You'll find it easier, she says. Now I can't see it. You'll find it easier to come through that first time. There you go. And then once you're going, you can sort of go. Major lumps of thread, as always. Now I'm going to stitch round the edge. I'm not 100% sure if I will do like thread painting to bring it back through, or whether I'm going to bring it back through. I'm not sure if I'm going to do thread painting and cover all the leaf, or if I'm just going to go round the outside. Now, because I've got quite a lot of decoupage on here, holding down, you know, decoupage glue, holding down the paper, does make it quite flexible. I'm sorry if there's a little bit of sheen there. And also, I quite like the idea that this is a card, you know, a postcard that's been through the mail. It's got a bit, you know, bent and battered. And then as an artist, you know, it's the artist has decided to build it into this Field Notes book. I've got lots of strands there. I need to get rid of those, don't I? So that's going to cause no end of problems. Do apologise. There we go. I should have put them further away. So yeah, so this is what I'm doing for my very last one. Ah, that was silly, wasn't it? Right, I'm going to cut this thread in half, because, you know, it's ridiculous having all that extra thread. And we'll try again and stitch from the right side. Goodness me, better have some more chocolate, hadn't I? That'll sort it out. Oh dear. So I've been doing the school nativities. I think I might have told you this actually in my Just Because quilt video. It's that time of year, isn't it, where we've got the school nativities going on. And Christmas craft fairs and all that kind of thing. It's lovely, really. I think all of that is part and parcel of what makes Christmas. Oh, I mean, it's not the easiest stitch in the world, I'll be honest, because obviously it is cardboard at the end of the day, but it's not horrendous. You can start to see the red outline coming through. So have you already finished your piece? Is your book now complete? I don't know if I'll get this finished this week and then not not have anything to do next week, have next week off as it were, or whether oops, oh that's not good, Claire, or whether I will be stretching it out over the 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. So I don't think I want to thread paint it. I don't feel like I've had a lot of joy with thread painting. I feel like it tends to look more messy than I'd like it to look. I'm sure, like so many things, it's just a case of practice, but it's not, where I feel I am at this time. Maybe later on I'll have another bash. And then I think what I'm going to do is because, as I say, I don't really want to thread paint. You can see the veins. I think I'm going to leave it basically black and white, but I'm going to stitch some of these veins. So like there's one coming off there. So I think I'm going to stitch that one. Like that. And then, whoops, come back up to it there. And then I'm going to come down this one. And stitch up there. Let's have a look. How does that look? Yeah, see, that's going to work for me. So I'll put the other half of my thread in that I cut off, and I'll do some more. Yeah, I like, and of course there's super texture in there, so I like how that's working. Everything's sort of coming to an end now, isn't it? This is the last one of these. I've already done the last of my Anne Brooke. So yeah, it's all sort of coming to a close now. Fresh new stuff coming up for next year. Have you decided what you're going to be doing next year yet? Have you decided to carry on with the Roxy Girls? Are you going to be testing the water with something else? And of course, stitching through card alone, if you're not careful, you can perforate it. But because I've got the 2 layers of fabric and I've got the Tim Holtz paper and I've got the decoupage glue, this card is, although thin, and quite bendy, it's a lot more flexible than if it was just a postcard out of the book. So that's always good. Now there's just some come through the letterbox, so I'm sorry if Boo starts. Oh no. I thought she was going to start barking. I won't be at all surprised if she's sound asleep. She's up on my bed. Okay, so that is the first leaf done on my poinsettia. I like it. I'm going to close off this thread and then I'm going to move to the bottom and do a green, because apart from anything else it will be on that opposite corner, which will adhere down the card. So I'll move my red to one side. You can always rethread that in a minute, and then we'll have some green. Now I've got a large poinsettia on my table, on my dining table, which is actually, this is 3 years old now, this Christmas, and each year I cut it back and I take cuttings from it for friends and family. There's 4 of them out already that went out last Christmas, and there's 2 that I've been, as it were, cultivating this year to go out to other people. And like the main stock one, if you like, is now huge, but interestingly it has stopped turning red. It's now only green, but these little bits here are still pink. So if there's any gardeners listening and you can tell me where I've gone wrong and what I need to do to get some red back in my poinsettia, it would be much appreciated. Because it's interesting, because last Christmas when I had cultivated the first 4 plants from the, you know, main donor, if you like, 2 of them had beautiful red leaves on and 2 of them didn't. Now the interesting thing is that because I know the people that have got them, which is obviously how I know that they haven't coloured up, and I know the environment in which these plants have been kept, and it appears that the environment, the watering process, etc., has all been exactly the same. So we can't find any obvious reason why. I thought I had a buckle in it there, i.e. I'd stitched it too far up, but no. So I can't find any obvious rhyme or reason as to why these plants are some coloured and some not. And I did originally have a friend say to me, well, is that because some are male and some are female? Now I don't know about that, but I do know that in theory, having all come from the same donor, then surely they should all be male or all be female. I don't know. I'm not enough of a gardener to understand if, I don't know, if you take cuttings from you know, the top or the bottom or the left or the right. I don't know. I'm really, really waffling now in the dark because I have no clue what I'm actually talking about. So maybe I should just shut up. Run down the middle of this one on the veins as I did with the red one at the top. Go. Okay. Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to stop that one there. I'll do a couple of the yellowy buddy bits at the top, and then I think I'll leave you in peace to get on with your day. And I will come back next week, if only to show you it finished and complete as a book, and do like almost a flip through, as it were. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So we'll just do these little yellow buddy bits at the top. And I apologise if anyone thinks I cheated, because this is not actually a flower. So let's have a look. Now I think the easiest way to do these will probably be as like a giant daisy stitch. Ow! 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 So I'll come through here, go back down, and then pull that like a daisy stitch, and then just hold that in place. Like that. And then there's one there. There we go. Oops. There's a little tiny one there. So there we go. So there's my little tiny yellowy ones. There we go. Real texture and colour, and they're enhanced by this. I'm very, very pleased with that. I think before I finish up, I've got some vintage postage stamps, probably get a stamp on there or over that stamp. Anyway, as always, a huge thank you to you for coming along and spending time with me. Hope you found some joy and inspiration. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.